I think the most important question of all is Minas's dad gay? Comment down below what you think.
会えない日々たちはどう愛する
The Kamen Rider to BL series pipeline is unreal. Like, this is the third installment of a Kamen Rider lead turning into a BL series lead. And can we all agree that this show is one of the best that came out last year? Honestly, with the amount of series I did not finish last year, I thought the year would finish with more mediocre content. But our Youth and See Your Love saved the end of 2024. Our Youth is in line with the expected angst you will get with the Japanese BL. So the trauma was a bit much, but like I said, Japanese BL will not be what it is without the amount of angst they love to dump on the audience. I love that this show delved into their main leads, Minase and Hirokawa's stories as individuals instead of just two people who are there to get together. Throughout the series, you care for their stories, I mean, as individual characters, and not just because they will eventually get together and you're looking forward to the romance. You're looking forward to it, but you know what I mean. For a relatively short series, the series takes the time to explore who they are as individuals. Most of the time, BL shows reduce the characters to mere tropes written to progress the romantic storyline. The focus on their personal narratives foster a deeper emotional connection with viewers. It definitely did for me when it comes to Minase. I love Minase. By showing the characters as fully realized individuals, their eventual romance feels more natural and grounded. By treating the characters as individuals rather than just tools to or puppets to react and interact for the plot, the show adds layers of depth and it creates a more rewarding viewing experience. They ensured that their characters are remembered for their complexity. And I love being rewarded. Like, it's a kind of a kink. You have to tell me that I've been a good girl. It just, no, I'm not going there. That's not the point of this video. Yeah. Moving on, let me stop yapping and let's start about the show. My name is Namu. I do reviews, commentaries about BL shows. If that's your thing, please take a moment to subscribe, comment down below what you're watching right now, and like this video. So in episode 1, Minase finds a cat named Hirokawa. Minase is your typical Asian kid with helicopter parents who bully him into submission with overwhelming family expectations. Actually, just his mother, because his father is basically absentee. Because of this, Minase is afraid of sticking a toe out of line and standing out or being in any type of trouble. He considers himself a bystander that's based on his own words, and he thinks of Hirokawa as one of the perpetrators. That's a hard word. Words are hard. Hirokawas have this really bad image at school, being considered violent and a bad influence. Their first meeting, at least on screen, could not have been worse unless Hirokawa had been beating someone up. But no, he was just choking a teacher. It's not great, but it could be worse. Minase calls himself a bystander, like I've mentioned. I genuinely believe he's just really kind. Otherwise, he would have just stayed away from Hirokawa and left him to his own devices. I know the face is irresistible. Like, we can all agree. But I think that no amount of pretty will compel someone to step into a very volatile situation without genuine kindness. Minase deserves the world, in my opinion, and all he got actually was heartbreak. Like, what the fuck, Hirokawa? But we're not in that part yet. That's for another episode. I mean, for another episode of the series later in this video. Episode 2. Minase tries to stay away, but the pretty face was just too irresistible, especially all banged up. Like, very few can pull off being pretty while all bruised and looking absolutely beaten up, and the Hirokawa pulled it up. Hirokawa and Minase finds common ground in the form of Minase's father. Hirokawa is a fan of Minase's father's films. Another thing that I love about this show, by the way, was the short films they showcased. There's three in total. Um, and I think the last one, Kenshin, Hirokawa's actor, actually directed for himself. Just a tidbit for you. Going back, this is because that's not the point of the show. I was just saying, that I love those short films that they've put in there. I think Minase is very intrigued to find someone that has connection to his dad when he himself does not understand what his dad is doing. He does not understand his dad's work and cannot relate to the films, and I think Hirokawa gives him a perspective. In return, Minase offers a sanctuary for Hirokawa from his father's abuse. I also didn't like Minase's friends. Shiba's passive aggressive comments about Minase's interest with Hirokawa really rubbed me the wrong way. I felt like it's a threat that if Minase do not act according to his friend's expectation, Shiba will end the friendship or something like that. The kiss in episode 2, oh, surprised me because this is a Japanese BL and that's just too early in the show. I don't think I expected any kiss at all, actually. Maybe at the end, like what they normally do, I guess, but not in episode 2. So that was something. Moving on to episode 3, I love the little snippets of Minase in the present throughout the whole series. It just beautifully ties the narrative. After the kiss, they're trying to figure out their friendship, or not much of a friendship, more like a situationship that they have going. This whole thing that they have going between them, especially with Hirokawa denying that he likes Minase. Minase being all, why the hell are you kissing me and clinging on me then? And Hirokawa pretending he's just being friendly. Yeah, sure. That's exactly what friendship is all about. And all these that's going on in the background are also distracting Minase from studying, and of course, people around him notice and just cause more pressure on Minase to do better. But Hirokawa is not letting him go that easily. Minase ignored him one time and Hirokawa got himself purposefully beaten up by his dad. Not that I'm saying that there is any reason why beating your kid will be reasonable. I'm just saying Hirokawa is not in the greatest state of mind and it's problematic. He knows Minase cannot ignore him when he's hurt, which is a bit manipulative and I don't like it. Episode 4, some popsicles were violated. Honestly, between this series and Every You, Every Me, justice for the popsicles. Not the point though. I'm just saying, the popsicles, they need more screen time. That's not the point. Um, the point is, where was I? They're still skirting around the main issue that they are supposed to be talking about, like this situationship with Hirokawa promising to not kiss Minase again and not fall in love with him if Minase does not ignore him or avoid him. Hirokawa, that's not really the point that Minase is making. Like, you've missed the whole point. You're purposefully missing the whole point of the issue. But to be fair, they're basically together at this point. Like Gun said in Perfect 10 liners, it's a situationship. Because I'm pretty sure even in high school, I don't kiss and lick my friends. Or maybe I got the wrong type of friends. Maybe that's the case. Kidding aside, there's more skinship on the show than what we normally expect for a Japanese BL, especially a high school BL. So Props to Kenshin and Junsen, and props to the production for going above and beyond expectations. Episode 4 is also such an emotionally intimate episode overall. Then we go to episode 5 where Hirokawa is being an absolute menace. Just kidding. Well, not really. We will get to that later. We were shown more of Hirokawa's perspective about his life and his father's abuse and how much the whole situation affects him and how he views the world in general. Also his relationship with other people around him. This part of Hirokawa's life reminds me so much of Let Free, The Curse of Taekwondo. Both shows were tough to watch. Hirokawa thinks that he should endure the abuse so he does not affect other people around him, mainly his mother and her new life. This episode, we discovered that Hirokawa found Minase's dad and connected with his films, how those films gave him perspective. I don't think that it's a very healthy perspective that he got from the films to just simply endure, but that's a conversation for another day. Again, the symbolism of water was emphasized in this episode from Hirokawa's point of view. Since the beginning, Minase compares their lives to bodies of water, how the direction or the flow of his and Hirokawa's life are like two seas that do not interact. With Hirokawa, it's about overflowing emotion and the cleansing quality of water, which I think he equates to Minase. I just find this theme so fascinating throughout the show, but that's not really the point. Where were we? So we got to Hirokawa's perspective of his first meeting with Minase from episode 1 up to now, and it just really shows how unhealthy this relationship is starting to be, with Hirokawa clinging to Minase as some type of anchor, and Minase being swept into Hirokawa's life. And whatever this is that they have together. I know the last scene in the last episode was really sweet, but they're both not in a good place. Going back to the episode again, so they go to see the film that Minasa's dad directed, which is a BL show. No surprise there at all. At least this film is depicted as less grim than the one in the manhwa. The one in the series looks really sweet. The one in the manhwa was just tragic. So after the show, Minase asked Hirokawa if they're gay because of their situationship. He just went right in, like straight to the heart of the matter, questioning yourself when you experience your first queer attraction is so real. And I love that Minase is comfortable enough with Hirokawa to outright question him like this. But at the same time, I was thinking, if Hirokawa fucking dismisses him, then I'm going to throw him off that bridge. I'm just saying. Unsurprisingly, the only part Hirokawa understood from all of that conversation was that Minase likes him. That's the only part that he understood, and that's that. They're basically boyfriends at this point anyway, because when Hirokawa kissed Minase at school, he does not stop him, or he only admonishes him because they are at school. And of course, Hirokawa only heard to not kiss Minase at school, which means everywhere else is fair game. Like Hirokawa, your typical man, has selective hearing. So in episode 6, we meet the parents. Well, at least Hirokawa's mother. We're finally at the beach where it all started. I mean, where the series started. After spending time with his mother and Minasa's assurances that he's better than his father, Hirokawa is finally hopeful for a future far away from his father's abuse. I guess the sex was that good. He finally wanted the proper future for himself. I still question the fact that the people are not prepping before doing the deed in any of these shows. Well, there was Pete. If you've watched Love by Chance, Pete is always ready and prepped for A. But what do I know, right? But that's not the point. That's not the point. Going back. So with all of these beautiful things going in the background, that's how we know shit's about to go down, right? Because happiness is not allowed in episode 6. Not in my BL series and definitely not in my Japanese BL. So Hirokawa gets into trouble because of his friends, and Minase is disappointed at Hirokawa for not standing up for himself and for taking the blame. In the manhwa, if I remember correctly, Hirokawa's character, Lim Hee-chan, was actually threatened by the teacher to just admit fault because Minase's character, Jiyuk, was defending him and would not let it go. Lim Hee-chan was scared that Jiyuk will be questioned about their relationship and get into trouble, especially so close to them graduating and applying for college that he just admitted fault. Episode 7, it just goes downhill from this point. Hirokawa got suspended, and Minase is frustrated that no one's listening to him about Hirokawa. It's so frustrating for Hirokawa as well. Just when he's trying to direct his life to a better path, circumstances makes it harder for him. Then his father dies, which is in the grand scheme of things should be a good thing. But one thing I can tell you about trauma and abuse is that nothing is straightforward and easy, especially with something as permanent as death. The relief that your abuser is gone and you're finally free, self hatred because of that grief, and loss. At the end of the day, that's his dad, the only family he has left. As he mentioned before, he's scared that if his father left him, he will truly be alone. In the middle of all of these, Minase and Hirokawa still showed their priorities. Minase will always run to Hirokawa's side to support him, and Hirokawa will always want to protect Minase and Minase's future. Episode 8, the confirmation that they're actually not together anymore. We're hearing all of these from Minas's perspective at the current time. So there's a time jump on episode 8, that time jump that I actually agree with. That's a surprise, 2 series in a row, every you, every me. And then this one that has time jump that I actually agree with because I hate time jumps generally. Like I also said, they're not exactly in a good place, and the relationship that they have was turning very unhealthy. So after Hirokawa's dad died, he said goodbye to Minase to move near his mother and transfer schools. Hirokawa wants to protect Minase more than anything, I think, but with how the last conversation went down, Minase just thinks Hirokawa does not need him anymore because he can have a better life now. And while I agree that the separation is necessary for them to grow, I think that this separation affected Minase more than it did Hirokawa. I think in Hirokawa's mind, they will eventually meet again, and after he fixed his life, after he steered his life in another direction, a better direction. Minase, on the other hand, does not have that perspective. From his point of view, Hirokawa left him. Even with that confession letter that Hirokawa left, I think it just made it worse because now Minase knows Hirokawa likes him, but he still left. My heart really breaks for Minase. All he did in the time that they were together was support Hirokawa, and he believed in the goodness in him when no one else did. Not even Hirokawa believed that he would be better than his father. Minase never faltered in the belief that Hirokawa is a better person and that he can have a better life. It really sucks that Minase thinks he's not strong enough to protect Hirokawa when he's been his support for all the time that they know each other. And that's how their high school love ended. And but never fear, we still have 3 episodes. So in episode 9, they're both in university, and I kind of hate Hirokawa for breaking Minase's heart. And I know Hirokawa's having a hard time, and I know eventually we will find out that he actually tried to reach out again to Minase. And you know what? I don't really care. This whole relationship that they had in high school and their separation, I think broke something in Minase. that he will never get back, even if they end up together. But first of all, who drinks before going to an activity or a function? Drinking is what you do after, when you're not expected to be going anywhere else anymore, so you can actually enjoy it and drink until you drop. I say that now, but we used to drink before going to a movie or going to a fiesta. Normally, you go to a fiesta to get totally drunk in someone else's house, but starting the drinking somewhere else is also a thing. Then you just move to another house and another house to continue throughout the day. Why am I exposing myself on the internet anyway? Moving on. That's not the point. That's not the point. So Minasan learns from his friend that Hirokawa is attending university and they accidentally meet again during a film showing for Hirokawa's club. So when you meet your ex, what do? Act absolutely normal and as put together as possible because you cannot let them know how absolutely devastated you are. And that's totally not based on personal experience. I'm just saying, don't show any weakness to your ex. They exchange contact information. I mean, Minase and Hirokawa exchange contact information, acting all friendly, which is so frustrating. Hirokawa asks Minase if he's doing well. Like, doing well? No, you fucking psycho. You broke his heart. It's been 4 years and he has not moved on. So he's not doing well. I'm getting heated for me to say at this point. I'm biased because I love Junsei and he must be protected at all costs, in my opinion. Which is the only thing that really matters here. Uh episode 10. Episode 10 they got together. They actually don't have a choice. It's the final episode. Mina said drunk dials Hirokawa, which is a terrible idea. Don't do it in real life. Don't drink dial your ex. It would not end the same way as it did with Minase. Most of the time, you'll just embarrass yourself. So the last episode just solidifies my belief that this whole relationship and breakup traumatized Minase more than it did Hirokawa. And that he's going to need so much therapy over the years. So they finally talked about that fucking letter, their separation, and the last 4 years. Minase was finally able to give Hirokawa his own letter that he's been writing throughout the series. He was writing it for the last 4 years that they are separated, which just goes to show how much Minase suffered in the last 4 years that they are not together. And if anyone tells me Hirokawa suffered, nobody cares. Not me, at least. I don't care. I only care about Minase. Episode 11 is an epilogue. It's actually the last few chapters of the manhwa, showing them after they graduated, they're already working and move in together. Quite a few scenes are fan service. There's a lot of skinship. So we're not going to go through all of that. Go watch it. In conclusion, props to the casting. Because Kenshin and Jinsei have so much chemistry, they did an incredible job bringing the characters to life. I absolutely love the stylistic choices in the cinematography, particularly the use of warm yellow or golden hue that's present in many of the scenes. It adds such a beautiful, unique touch, creating a sense of warmth and nostalgia. This color palette not only enhances the visual appeal, but also seems to reflect the tone and emotion of the story, making the scenes feel more intimate and captivating. Which makes sense since it's Minasa's recollection of events. It gives the memories a soft, like dreamlike quality, making them feel more personal and emotionally resonant. It's such a thoughtful choice that adds depth to the storytelling. It's just so thoughtful when you see those subtle choices that the production or the director made to make the experience better for the audience. I mentioned it before how I love visual storytelling rather than relying solely on the dialogue or the narration. The show uses its cinematography to communicate deeper meanings. It's a more nuanced, layered storytelling. It reflects a deliberate effort to make the visual experience memorable, ensuring that the audience can instantly recognize the show's style. It just elevates the whole viewing experience for me. And even though this is an adaptation of the manhwa, this is a totally different piece from that. The tone is different, even the characters are different. This is a story independent from the source material. And this is what I've been saying when I say that adaptation should be able to stand on its own, separate from the original. So go check out the manhwa in Liz Shin. Jiuk and Lim Hee-chan are different people from Minase and Hirokawa, and it's going to be a different experience reading that. Minase is also so much kinder in the series for one thing. Okay, I think that's enough for me. This is way too long already. I'm craving some blue popsicles. So please take a moment to subscribe, like this video, drink your water, stay hydrated. Bye bye.
하나 Osaka so